Hey Ginger, it's Matt Mark calling.
Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Well, are you cold like I am, or are you pretty good out there? Are you in Arizona?
I'm in
Oh,
Nashville,
you're in
and
Nashville.
we have snow on the ground, but I'm inside, so I'm fine.
Well, I'm in Michigan, so I'm pretty cold. It's
Oh wow,
yeah. I mean, it's guys. I don't know, in the 20s to 30s. It's not that
oh yeah,
bad. It gets worse, but yeah, it's pretty cold. So excited to talk to you. Sorry, I have a little bit of a froggy voice today, but that comes along with the cold weather sometimes.
yeah. No worries, no worries.
Well, I'm so glad that you're going to be on the road show this year. So you're excited. I mean, it's not your first time, I realize, but are you looking forward to this year's lineup?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I feel like this year more than previous years. It definitely feels like there's a common thread of a spirit of worship, and
Yeah.
so I'm excited to be part of that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Worship Road Show instead of the old title, the Rock and Worship Road Show. It's more just
Yeah,
mainly the worship tour. Um,
yeah.
it's a really incredible. And for some people, like that's it's great to kind of have that. Like you were saying, the common thread of the theme being worship. It kind of just carries through the night. There's a little bit of more upbeat, and then you're right back to the worship thread, and it definitely ends on a worship note. So I'm looking forward to it very much. So I did say see that you've now come out with the Alive and Breathing Volume 4. It's available for everyone.
Yeah, and actually, we're less than a month away now from kind of the whole record coming out, March 6th, with two more new songs, and so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that all coming together.
Well, and we have been playing that song. It's really incredible. I you have uh it's just your natural talent or gift is worship leading for sure. That's it's such a great song, and so easily you can so easily get led into a spirit of worship with, well, all of your songs, but this one in particular. I've really been enjoying this song on our show.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was written around a year ago, and it's neat to kind of see a song go from an idea to being finished to being recorded and then getting out there. And then now, you know, um, just watching how, radio and music work together to kind of provide, uh, I think, sort of an opportunity for people to have an encounter uh, with God is pretty awesome.
Now, I'm in Michigan and you're from Newfoundland, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, so you're no stranger to the cold.
I am not. I am not at all.
So when did you move to Arizona?
25 years ago this year, actually.
Oh, so you're very acclimated to the States now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like I was 20 when I moved, so it was very much kind of feels like I spent half my life there and then half my life here, and so but yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty acclimated now.
So I also see that tomorrow you're going to get to play the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I live fairly close to the Opry, and I've been there with some award shows, but not not as part of the Grand Old Opry program. And so I think it's exciting to be able to kind of be part of the longest running radio show in the country.
And growing up, I'm from Texas originally, but growing up in the states, period, that's one of the signs that you've arrived, that people have recognized your music is when you get to the Grand Ole Opry. That's definitely the big thing when you get, especially from, I'm from the South, so being from Texas, or Nashville for sure, being from the South or a very country state like Tennessee, like that's kind of the stamp on your music careers if you've been to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm happy to have arrived.
Now you were literally just in my state at my home radio station. I grew up on KLTY. I saw that you were just
Oh,
there.
wow.
I guess about a week ago, something like that. You were there at
Yeah.
KLTY. It's an incredible station. Mike Prendergast. I've known him for several years, and it's just a really great station. So I saw that you were just there.
Yeah. He's like, Mike's a kind of at this point now, I guess I'd say he's an old friend. And, it's always great getting to see him. I still, uh, am not sure how he gets the intestinal fortitude to drive around chasing storms, but
Uh,
I will not hold it against him.
do you follow him on Instagram and watch how
Oh,
scary
oh, oh
uh,
yes,
I tell him. I mean, he's not afraid to meet Jesus.
that's it.
He's definitely, just, he's definitely found, founded in his faith, to get out there and do that. I am too. I mean, my theory is, you know it's like a bus ticket. I've got my ticket to go to heaven, but I'm not chasing the bus.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I'm looking forward to it. Although some days I'm kind of like, this is not a bad day for the rapture. But yeah, I'm not chasing that bus down like he seems to be. Yeah, he's such an incredible guy, and I love their variety of music, and you definitely fit into their station and the songs there. All my family's in Texas, so most of them know who you are very well. Now with you being on, several tours where you're, um, you know, kind of collaborating on tour as far as like, playing alongside a lot of different Christian artists. Is there anybody that you've thought, I'd love to do a song with that person, or I'd love to tour with them, and you haven't yet, but it's kind of like, yeah, I'd love to do something with that person, like kind of one of your bucket list things.
Wow. I mean, there are definitely bucket list artists that I'd love to write with. It's funny. I think more about writing as a songwriter.
Right.
Ryan Tedder is a producer and a songwriter.
Yep.
Um, he's also now kind of like one of the main hosts or judges of Songland on NBC. He would definitely be up there on the list. I think he's not alive anymore, but Tom Petty would have been there. Um, so
he was so incredibly talented, and not and I grew up during that time. I won't totally date myself, but yeah, when he was kind of at the height of his career, that was, you know, my introduction to massively playing music. And, I didn't appreciate him at the time. And later on, I can, especially as a songwriter, appreciated his talent, his career. But yeah, I think he was underrated at the time. He's probably more appreciated now than he was when he was, 70s, 80s, that time when he was playing, like when he was kind of more at his height of his career.
yeah,
But yeah, he's definitely a good bucket list person to have had on your list. Um, well, I am so looking forward to, kind of, because you'll be right before Bethel Music in the lineup on Roadshow, correct? You'd be like right next
yeah,
to them, so that would, all of that, like together, all of the different worship bands, but, kind of ending those last couple of bands, being straight up, worship vibe. Although you do get upbeat at times, of course.
yeah,
It's also celebratory, but just an incredible time of leading worship. And there's something about, even if you have some upbeat, maybe hip hop and rock and different bands on like the Roadshow or Winter Jam, it's something about ending it on a worship note, and like that being, how your spirit leaves the event, just being left with that, those that worship, just kind of all over you as soon as you leave the building. It's just such an incredible thing to go to any worship concert, but I like it when something like the Roadshow, like the way they have it put together. Even Winter Jam this year was, it was almost like worship jam.
Wow.
It was much more worship, centered, and Crowder being, the last act, that's kind of the same thing. It's definitely worship music is definitely becoming more centered than it ever has, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would say that like right now, I feel like, uh, I feel like with the state of the world that we're living in, and um, I think people more than ever are really wanting to have encounters with God, and I think that some music is is deeply engaging and kind of makes you be more reflective, or and that's not necessarily, it's not a bad thing, but I think it's just that right now I think people are kind of uh yeah, I think sort of longing for that uh, musical environment that helps them have an encounter with God.
It's
So
definitely
which
that time of like needing the hope and the encouragement and the uplifting in your spirit that worship provides, for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know you've got to go. You've got several interviews going on with the Roadshow, but have a great time at the Grand Ole Opry and enjoy every moment of it, because I know it's going to be incredible. And thank you for putting out incredible worship music for all of us to get to just enjoy and be led by as. For worship, and we're just excited to see you on the road show coldly in here in Michigan, but it won't bother you. It'll be like home.
Looking forward to it.